Hey folks, it's Owen here again with another battle report. Finally with another battle report. It's been a couple, I think it's been actually 3 or 4 weeks now that I haven't done a report. I haven't really been playing any games though because I have moved house, which was a stressful time. Well worth doing obviously because you're in a nice new place, but it's horrible moving from an old place. So that's all done, dusted, finished off, and had a small holiday as well, which was great. So now I'm back in business and able to play some more games. So going back down to the now called the War Room, not the Hobby Shack anymore, as it has been taken over by Nigel Kavanagh of Wargaming Ireland fame and all the sorts of Irish Wargaming fame as well. So good stuff out of him, and the place looks great now. So I can't wait to go down on Thursday and play a game, probably against Elliot and his Wood Elves, which is going to be probably a pain in the hole, but it'll be fun to play. But anyway, this is a game I did a couple of weeks ago when I managed to get a small, sneaky bit of time off, and I played against Dave and his Dark Elves. So let's go on to it. So Dave is was at the time getting ready for Brocon, which was using a scale comp. If I can, I'll put that up on the link just to see what scale is. If anybody's watching this doesn't know what it is, it's a different little compact that they use for a couple of tournaments in the Irish scene. 2,500 points. I'm not using scale, I just used whatever I had because, to be honest, my models are all over the place and I just happen to have a lot of stuff in a bag, so I just set it up and off I went. It's pretty much the same army I usually use, and it's a bit harder than Dave's, but I was just down for some drinks and smokes and taking it easy, so I didn't really give a fuck. So off we go, dawn attack. Okay, on to my deployment, and deployment worked out very well. Both throwers are all at the bottom in a nice line, ready to shoot the shit out of as much as they can. I have 18 archers there on the hill who have a musician and a standard. The standards were left on the units because it was from a previous tournament I went to that needed a lot of command points, so I just left it there and added on a couple of points just so I could actually play a game instead of sitting down for an hour and working out lists and shit. I've got the 6 Reavers who have vanguarded up there, just out of view of quite a few things, but they should be alright. Should be okay. Who cares? They get killed. They always do. They've got bows and spears, and I've another 18 archers there in the centre, and a Frostheart Phoenix just to the right of them. And then over on the rightish side, 24 Phoenix Guard, full command Razor Banner, who have the Noble who's in there, who I got a nice model actually off Marty Sloan for a BSB, an old BSB model. It's pretty cool. He's got the Dragon Armour Shield and Murworm, I think that's how you spell it, I did it on the fly. And Kane's Ring of Fury, which is always very, very handy. Hiding in the wood, who were popped in, are the Shadow Warriors, who I said I'd just throw in because they're in my bag and I had extra points. And I always kind of wanted to use them, even though they're not really much good. But good fun putting them in there. That turned out to be a blood forest, so that causes a bit of mayhem earlier on in the game. Spoiler alert. We also have 21 Sword Masters just between the 2 bolt throwers there on the right. They've got the Banner of the World Dragon to keep my Archmage safe from explosions when he blows himself up. And my general is there too with his Book of Hoth. He's a level 4 Archmage and he has Talisman of Preservation. Then I have 6 more Reavers who have vanguarded up just in front of the Sword Masters, which it was probably a large mistake that I shouldn't have done, because what he should have done then maybe was charge me and I would probably have to flee through my unit, so could have fled away, but yeah, hindsight is we set it pretty fast, went out for a smoke and came back in, and I didn't really think about what I was doing, so that could have been a bit of a problem. But anyway, there's my deployment. Now, I haven't managed to get my hands on Dave over the past week or two for his army list that he used. So we'll just go off by what I think, or what I remember it is anyway. So there's a Cribbis on the hill, there's a Hider there in the centre, and another Cribbis there on the left hand side. He's got a bolt thrower at the top, and on the left there he's got a let me see, what are they called? A Master on a Pegasus. Now this guy's got a 1+ armour save. Got a lance, got a few other things. He's just kind of a stalwart, cheapo, tough to kill. He's a pain in the arse. Well, could possibly be a pain in the arse. But anyway, we'll go on. Right hand side he has 5 Dark Riders that have vanguarded up, and in the centre there he has another unit of Dark Riders, 9 Dark Riders, who has their Sorceress, who's a level 2, because on the scale rule, if you have any wizards that are only level 2 or below, you get a +1 nice point, so you can bring something nasty. So he's made his nice point here. So he's got level 2. The level 2 doesn't have anything except for the spell scroll, because he has a black dragon with a lord on it, who is a fucking beast. What's he got? The 3+ shooting cloak of twilight, I believe it is. I think he's got Dawnstone. He's got the dragon helm to give him 2+ from flaming. He's got a giant brick of a dragon. He's tough as nails. 1+ armor save. Very, very tough. Horrible guy. He's also got a Charybdis there in the center, so he's got a couple of flying things, lots of monsters. It's quite an exciting army for him to play because it's really in your face, lots of movement, a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind playing something like this myself, maybe, but I'll keep going on here. He's got some dark shards there. I think it's 20, could possibly be 25 dark shards, and 20 dark shards and spears, dread spears, that's it. Dread spears, 25 dread spears there as well. And then another bolt throw in the centre. And that's just a nice sideways picture that I got, so I said I'd put it in there, and battlefield looks nice. So Dark Elves take the first turn. Boo hiss. So what we have here is a multitude of arrows, which we will try and go through. I forgot to put the arrow actually on the Dark Riders, who moved all the way down to threaten my bolt thrower on the right hand side there. So Hydra moves not into the building, just beside the building, just wait and see who's going to come up, just so I can't really do any damage on him. Another Hydra then comes down off the hill, and Charybdis, good old Charybdis, pops out there and stays right behind the Dark Riders, who also move up as well. Pegasus Rider then goes onto the right hand side, looking to come down here and threaten as well, maybe block up some stuff. Then on Dave's right, his Black Dragon Rider and friends and stuff all fly over to the right hand side behind the Dark Shards. They move forward a small bit. We actually never rolled for the wood that he was in. Actually, we did roll for the wood, and it turned out to be a blood forest. So if I did casting spells over there, it would have went a bit weird too. He moves his dread spears into the building, and Charybdis then moves around the building, getting ready to probably pop over and devour one of my archer units, which shouldn't be too hard. So on to the Dark Elf magic phase, and David himself 2 spells for his sorceress, Word of Pain and Black Horror. So he rolled up, if I remember rightly, 6 dice, and I had 3. Obviously he cast Word of Pain first, so he threw 3 dice at that. It was cast quite high, so I decided I'm going to just let this go and focus on the Black Horror when it comes out. Now, this was in the Blood Forest, so when a spell gets cast in a unit in the Blood Forest, you get hit by, I think it's D6 strength 4 hits or something like that. But so I let it go, kind of to see what had happened as well, and what happened wasn't great. So I lost 3 guys, and the Blood Forest moves, and it moves right down onto the next slide, and the forest ends up down here, covering my Phoenix Guard by a little bit. So if you have a small footprint in the forest, you're going to get hit, and it's a Blood Forest. So when Dave does go for his Black Horror, he's looking for a 6/6, just so he can fire it over at them and hopefully knock them off and give them some more wounds. But it doesn't happen, I just spell it, so I'm okay. But for future reference, maybe I shouldn't let things go for a bit of fun, but it wasn't much I could do anyway. So the Dark Elf shooting phase gets rid of a couple of my Reavers, and the rest of the Dark Elf shooting didn't do much at all. So on to High Elves turn 1. All I did over here really is just move the Reavers over on the left hand side, so he can't shoot me with his bolt thrower. Hydra can't charge me either, and I can just get some shots off her, get ready to do a bit of charging, or maybe move them back. I have a few options with those guys now, so that's good. Then moving over onto the right hand side, bring the Phoenix across just behind the Phoenix Guard, who've moved up further into the wood. I just wanted to give some support really if his riders or if any of his monsters comes down to attack. I'll have something back me up. On the right hand side then I move the Reavers just over to the house, so they can't get charged and they're facing over at the Dark Riders, so I can get some hits on them. I do need to get rid of these Dark Riders because, well, they get rid of my bolt throwers if I don't, so I have to get rid of them. Move forward then the Sword Masters, and the Shadow Warriors have actually moved up as well to get out of the charge range of those guys. But I mean, there's only 2 of them left, so I just want to get them out of the way, really, you know. So on to the magic phase, and what I don't have here actually is the first spell I tried to get off, which was Arcane Forging on his mage, which was either use your Dispel dice and get rid of the spell, or use your Dispel scroll. If you do fail, I will take the Dispel scroll off you. So he goes, right, fair enough, I'm going to use my Dispel scroll, and then of course I rolled up my 4 dice and got 2/6. So there you go, what can you do? So Fiery Convocation goes off, only gets rid of 2 of these guys, which is poor rolling from me and good saving from Dave, but I'm glad that spell is off. It means he can't cast any more spells at me. Has to get rid of that really, and not too bad. So shooting then, and a great result over here, although it did take an extra bolt thrower to get rid of these guys. So 2 bolt throwers and the Reavers have managed to only kill 4 of these guys, or sorry, 3 of these guys. They failed the break test and off they went, so at least they're gone, but it has taken a dent on my shooting. So shooting only resulted in me killing a couple of archers there on the left, and maybe 1 or 2 other things got a hit, so it didn't really fucking matter. So on to Dark Elf turn 2. So we got some problems here. Dark Elf Dragon Lord Madness is coming down, and he's coming down fast. Not good. So he flies down, takes a good look at my side flank, so he can pretty much get into anyone he wants. Meanwhile, the Monster Brigade comes along and fires over there. Now, I don't think Dave should have been able to charge me with his Charybdis, but I think he was just about able to get through from where the Dark Riders were standing to make a charge on him. So anyway, I fled, rolled very high, and Dave rolled very low. So we managed to get away, and Dave just rolled up a little bit. So everything else moves for Dave. He gets the 2 Hydras there in front of my Sword Masters because he's going to get himself off a couple of breath weapons. Spoiler alert, and it's not going to be good for me. Meanwhile, then on the left, the crossbowmen move down as well. And then the left hand side, the Dark Shards or Dark Spears or whatever the fuck they're called come out of the house and get ready to charge into my guys because they're not happy. And then Charybdis moves on up there as well, looking to get into the other elves. So I'm afraid the 2 archers are going to be fucked, but I mean, so what? They're only archers. So onto the magic phase, and Dave rolled up a rake of dice. I think he had 10 dice. I'm not sure. I think, but it was enough to 1 get rid of this spell, and then in the next turn cast Black Horror, which we will see goes off with Irresistible Force. Goes off with Irresistible Force, getting rid of a wound off his mage because it just hits whatever. We got I can't remember, 9 I think it is on the dice. But anyway, never mind that. He flew straight off in this direction, went over his own Hydra and came over towards my Phoenix Guard. Didn't make it far enough though. So he took a strength test on the Hydra and the Hydra passed, which isn't too bad for him. But that is going to cause me a lot of problems, and we'll see later on how many problems it causes. So on to Dark Elf shooting, and one of the bolt throwers managed to catch a little glimpse of these guys because the Hydra's gone out of their way. So 6 shots, 3 wounds, and 3 are dead, which means they fail their test because they are very scared and they run away. Even though I had a reroll in the old panic as well, still failed. So the Hydras open up a can of puke breath and take away not too many guys. I got really lucky because I had gotten 1 spell off in the previous phase. So we had a 6 armor and a 6 ward, and I made a lot of 6 wards. So when I say I only lost 8 guys, that's actually quite good considering most of the unit was hit. So good stuff from Dave. He's whittled me down quite a bit. Meanwhile, Black Dragon Man does exactly the same thing. I completely forgot this guy had a flame fucking breath. So he breathes all over my guys, and he does a good job of getting rid of 6. So that's terrible failing for me, but good result for Dave again. And then High Elves turn 2. So yeah, my plan here was, and I don't have the little arrow, I think it's in the next slide. The Phoenix Guard charged into the Hydra. I had to do a bit of manoeuvring, but we'll discuss that in a minute. Then my Frost Phoenix went into the other Hydra. I brought these guys actually backwards. I think that arrow's a little bit wrong. And then I moved the Reavers around the side just to take a couple of shots at the Dark Riders. Maybe get a wound through or something. Very unlikely, but nothing can really happen to them from there. And we can probably get a charge off on one of the bolt throwers in later on. And so here we have the other guys. So the Shadow Warriors rally, I wasn't actually sure if the skirmishers can still move. I think I just completely forgot. So I left them there. I don't think I really wanted to move too far anyway because the Hydra's there and he scares the life out of me. So what I did here was I charged the Hydra here. I'm looking to kill Hydra and overrun into the other combat. Help the Phoenix. Because his Phoenix is good, but he's still... we still might get killed. I don't want that to happen. So I was able to go straight forward and then pivot into the Hydra and then slide down. And it only ended up costing me 2 models because I think only 6 guys got hit on the way in, which wasn't too bad. And I had some pretty crap rolls if I was killing someone, but pretty good ones in this case because my strength was weak. So I said I lost 2 models, but I got in. So the plan is almost there, which isn't too bad. Left hand side here, and I'm not moving anywhere. And then again, we realised just before the movement phase was finished that we are supposed to do this as a start. So I said to Dave, look, we'll just do it now and see what happens. Don't worry about it. It's all good. And unfortunately, it happens pretty badly because it goes straight through my unit and Dave's Hydra. I lose 5 guys. He loses a Hydra because he rolls a 6 in the strength test. And now my plans are in fucking shit because I've no combat here to go out of to get into the other combat. These guys are just sitting here on their own. So that's a disaster, but a very funny occurrence all the same. And we get rid of this Hydra with a combination of shooting from the Reavers on the left, the arrows, and a bolt thrower as well. So good stuff. And then in combat phase, and in the combat phase, the Frost Phoenix does no wounds, and the Hydra does 1 wound. So it's a push, and I'm very lucky. So on to Dark Elf turn 3. Charges, and the Dread Swords charge my archers who take a couple of shots and only kill a couple of guys, so they're pretty much fucked. Elven archers are usually quite good against most things. They can usually kill a few guys because they're ASF, but unfortunately the Dark Elves have a 1-up on me, so not so hot. Then over here on the right, the Charybdis charges at the remainder of the Shadow Warriors, who flee very low, and he rolls quite well, but not well enough, so he's 1 inch behind me, so I'm just about alive here, just about. The Black Horror moves again at the start of my turn, and Dave decides to put it through me again. Very lucky rolls from him, and 3 more guys are dead. So Black Horror has been probably the best thing in the whole game for him. Meanwhile, then the Dragon Rider flies into the side of the bolt thrower and will probably destroy that very, very easily. Everything else is looking pretty good. Oh, a bit more movement there, and the Mage and friends move up onto the hill to get a couple of shots on my Reavers. And that's exactly what they do. They pummel, they only kill 3, which actually isn't too bad, so I have 1 left. Of course, the bolt thrower never stood a chance, really, so Black Dragon Man kills him. I'm back onto the combat over here, and I actually do take a wound off Charybdis, but he manages to hold. And there's just a nice cyber picture, which looks pretty good. I like the battlefield, looking good. So on to the other combat then, and Elf versus Elf, Dark versus High, and unfortunately the Dark guys have it. They have more ranks, they got more attacks, they have hatred, they have reroll 1s, but we still kill 3, and they only kill 4, so it wasn't too bad. But we are down by a load, and we flee. Do we flee? We also die. So he ends up right in between my 2 bolt throwers, which means that he can't charge them next turn, which is grand. But so it does give me another turn of shooting at someone. But they are fucked. So there's a small lack of pictures for High Elf turn 3. Not that I think I needed any, because at the top there, the Swordmasters turn around, get ready to fire some spells. Actually, I just wanted to fire 1 spell, Arcane Unfortunate, at that guy. I'm really hoping to get rid of his Cloak of Twilight, because that is the only thing that's going to save him, really. If I can manage to do this, it would be great. So what I did was, Arcane Unfortunate, he didn't stop it. Got a wound through, he saved it with his, 3+ shooting ward, fair enough, that's grand. And then I said, okay, 1-2 is this, 3-4 is this, 4-5 is this. And luckily enough, the Cloak of Twilight is now gone. So what I did was then I had one dice left, threw Handed Glory at it, got it that as well, so put it on the bolt thrower. So now that thing is hitting on 2s. I think I made a mistake, and maybe I should have put it on the further bolt thrower that was maybe looking to hit on 4s. But then again, I don't think I can get that far. So look, doesn't really matter. That's hitting on 2, so we're hoping we're trying to kill this guy. So bit of shooting over here. These guys were moved up, getting ready to charge if they don't kill me. So we said, why not take a small shot, see what happens. So we managed to get a 6 through, didn't make a save, so we got 1 down. And this is where things didn't go so well. Bolt thrower hits. Bolt thrower gets a 5 and a 6 to pick out your man, and then does 1 wound. Not good. So that was crap. That's all I can say. The rest of the bolt throwers missed him, so he's still down to 2 wounds. But I suppose it's not too bad. Over here we managed to, obviously the Phoenix Guard had charged into the side, got rid of this guy. So he is gone, and we reform then. And reform like this. I'm going to send the Phoenix Guard up towards the Dark Riders / Bolt Thrower to see if I can get something. And I'll point the Phoenix down here. Maybe I can get lucky and get my hands into that Pegasus guy, or maybe even the Black Dragon if I can do something. I mean, I have to do something. So Dark Elf turn 4. Charybdis charges into the side of the Bolt Thrower, so game over. Bolt Thrower 1. Bolt Thrower 2 is almost game over because the Dark Swords have turned around and are getting ready to strike in the next turn. Meanwhile, the crossbows just do a little study reform thing and wander over towards my last remaining archer unit. So they're going to get peppered out of it now in a minute too. Over here then, Dave goes, bollocks to this, I have no more ward save against those bolt throwers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly away behind this. Okay, fair enough, off you go. And nothing I can do about that. Meanwhile, Pegasus guy says, I'm going to charge into this bolt thrower, so he can't shoot me and probably kill me. Good idea as well. Meanwhile, that black horror thing decides to go through my Phoenix Guard yet again, getting rid of another one, and just stops short of my Phoenix, who would have been killed if it was a 6. So that thing is horrible, and I actually didn't cop that I was able to dispel it. I thought it just went on and on and on. So massive mistake out of me, but still, it was actually a bit of fun seeing what it was going to do. And then moves Dark Riders over here beside his Bolt Thrower, getting out of my way, so I just don't get my hands on him. Alright, so shooting phase, and he kills 5 of my remaining guys here. Combat phase, and the dread Pegasus man, or Master Pegasus, or whatever the fuck he is, he gets rid of the Bolt Thrower and does his job. Dave elects not to overrun because it wouldn't really make any difference. I think maybe he should have tried to get off the table, because right now there's a Phoenix looking at him, and the Phoenix is pretty hungry. And then other Bolt Thrower gets devoured by Charybdis, so that's the end of that. So I have turn 4, and the remaining, this is incredible that these guys are still alive. They've rolled to shoot me, missed with everything but 1, and then failed to wound. So I still have 3 Reavers coming in, so they charge straight in. They're only against 1 guy, so chances are looking good. Then over this side, Phoenix charges over into Mr. Pegasus. Hopefully we'll be able to get rid of him. He's only got 2 wounds, I think, so we never know. We'll see how it goes. And then the Black Horror floats around again, still pissing everyone off, but it's okay. I don't think, well, maybe it won't. We'll see how it goes. But I don't think it's going to get into Swordmasters. Swordmasters then turn around and get ready to fire another bolt at that guy up on his fucking Black Dragon. Which is exactly that I do. So I throw Arcane on Forge, and I throw all my dice in it and miscast it. I don't really give a shit at this stage. So get rid of that. Get rid of his Dawnstone. So things are looking good. Phoenix. What else? Oh yeah, I cast Handed Glory on my Phoenix as well. I got +3 initiative. So now my initiative is actually higher. I think it's higher than this guy, and I would have given him Always Strike last anyway, so I probably shouldn't have bothered doing that, but I did it anyway just to see what would happen. It means my weapon skill is higher as well, so I think it was worthwhile doing in the end anyway. Shooting wise, my archers and my bolt thrower take out 9 of these guys, but it's still not going to be enough. These, even if there's only 10 of them, they've got Charybdis backing them up. So if they go into my unit, I'm dead, and it means the bolt thrower is fucked anyway. But good news for me, his bolt thrower is destroyed, so good stuff out of my guys. And even better news, Pegasus Dreadman is gone. And he was tough enough, I must say. So I had a charge and a wound, and he had nothing, didn't do a tap to me. So he's -2. I think he was leadership 9, but he failed anyway, so off he goes. Good riddance to him. We just turn around, turn to face. Best thing to do, really, because I need to try and get into combat with that black dragon. So Dark Elves turn 5, Charybdis just moves over, doesn't bother declaring a charge, and the guys at the bottom then just charge into the bolt thrower, who is going to be dead. Meanwhile, Black Dragon flies away, what a weed, and then the unit of Dark Riders then move down to probably cast a couple of spells on me, but also to get out of my charge range, because he doesn't want the Phoenix Guard going in. Even though there's only a few left, I mean, they still have BSB in there, and they're still a tough bunch with their 4 board saves, so I wouldn't fancy getting chopped up by them. So nothing happened in his magic phase, so off to the combat phase, and the bolt thrower is gone. And now onto my turn, so I hit the reverse button. Reverse! I think it's far too late for these guys, but we'll reverse as much as we can and try to make it as difficult as we can for these guys to get in. And one more turn is Arcane Unforging. So we fire Arcane Unforging at him. Boom! Last wound is gone. General is dead. Good news. Now what I wanted was this guy to go berserk and hopefully fly off the table, or go towards the nearest unit and go into combat with the Phoenix Guard, who I think might have had a chance to kill him. But of course that didn't happen, so he has full control of him and he can do what he wants. So I don't get full points for this guy. Fucking disaster. But at least I get 100 for killing the general. So the Phoenix Guard managed to get into combat with this bolt thrower and kill it, but they did lose 1 in return, and they're down to fucking nothing left now, so I'd probably be better off trying to get these away from all these guys. So Dark Elf turn 6, final turn. Charybdis charges, makes it in. The Dark guys do not make it in, they fail, and I stood and shoot at them as well, so killed 3 of them. Unfortunately it wasn't enough to cause them to run away, because they're quite a stubborn bunch, but never mind, they've done their best. Swift reform is then done by the Arrow guys, who are going to pepper the poor old Reavers, and they're going to be gone soon. And then some more mad movement over here. I think he should have went in with his dragon to destroy the rest of my Phoenix Guard. I mean, he's going to get a Thunderstomp, lots of attacks. Yeah, granted I attack first, but I mean, he can line it up so I'm not near his BSB. He's probably going to kill me. But Dave elects to run away. Fair enough, you know, it is a lot of points. It is a lot of points, so it's probably not worth his while. Still, I thought it'd be fun because it's only a friendly game, but sure, what can you do? Dark Riders then move up above me, so I can't get my hands on them either, so fuck that. As I said, the crossbowmen open up a can of whoop ass on these 3 guys, and they are toast. As does Charybdis. He annihilates the unit. 4 hits, 4 wounds. Thunderstomp is 10. On a 1, catches me. Everybody's dead. Gone. Good luck. And high off turn 6. So I decided to do something that was probably ridiculous. I mean, they're only 70 points. So Shadow Warriors, I don't really care. But they had a good chance here. If they charge on the side, I've got +2 res. Then, I mean, I'm only going to be attacking 2 guys. They can only I don't think he's going to kill 2. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. Maybe I'll kill 1. He'll kill 1. I'll still be winning by at least 1. So, and he's no general, and he's no BSB at all. So you never know. I might get a chance to run him off and get some points. Meanwhile, there's fuck all else for me to do here. So I move up the Swordmaster's bottom, so I can maybe get a spell off or something, and then turn around the BSB, who has Kane's Ring of Fury, and I'm going to fire that at the Dark Riders and see what happens. And that's exactly what it did. Kane's Ring of Fury gets rid of 4 guys, passes his panic, and he's all good. Shite. And then over here, we kill 1 guy. We lose nobody. Good stuff. We win by 2. I think he has a banner in here as well. So we win by 2. He's steadfast, but why not give it a go? But he passes. So unlucky. It was a good try though. That's the end of the game. And you know what? We had a lot of fun playing. It was a very, very relaxed game. And it was good to play a game after 3 or 4 weeks of not doing fucking anything. You know, you really miss playing these games because they're a lot of fun. So the end result was a Dark Elf victory after scale. Now, we had worked out the points. I think I had eventually actually won the game 11-9 to me, but I think I was 3 nasty points more than him, which means he gets +3. So it brings it to 12-8 to the Dark Elves after scale. Now, I don't really care because it was just a bit of fun, but it's good to see that the army's obviously quite good, and Dave had a lot of fun using his Monster Mash army, which was pretty cool to play against. Difficult to nail down, you know, and very hard to get used to. So I reckon he's going to have a good time playing that army, and I had a good time playing it, so that's all that matters. So I have a game now tonight against Elliot and his Wood Elves, which is going to be probably a pain in the hole, but I'm interested to play them because I think they're really, really good. So hopefully I'll have that up by the weekend. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much.